Deep in the canyons of the American Southwest, massive stone cities sit completely empty. These sprawling complexes were built directly into the towering cliff faces, requiring staggering amounts of labor and engineering. Yet, by the late 1200s, these thriving settlements were suddenly abandoned. The profound silence left behind in these ruins sparked a popular myth that an entire race of people simply vanished without a trace. But framing this as a disappearance gets pre-colonial American history completely wrong. To figure out where these people actually went, we have to look at the immense complexity of what they built. A society capable of this level of coordination does not simply evaporate. Thousands of years ago, the ancestors of the Pueblo people settled in one of the most hostile environments in North America, a harsh, arid landscape stretching across parts of modern-day Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. Their survival hinged on a major technological breakthrough. They developed highly advanced dryland farming and irrigation methods to successfully cultivate crops like maize. Making this work required an intimate, almost scientific knowledge of seasonal weather patterns. The environment was incredibly unforgiving, meaning they had to engineer ways to capture and utilize every single drop of precious water. Mastering their food supply provided a reliable bedrock of stability. With their basic survival secured, their civilization could expand rapidly in scale and complexity. That agricultural surplus triggered an architectural boom. They began constructing massive, multi-story settlements out of stone and adobe, often suspending them halfway up sheer cliffs. These were not small outposts. Places like Mesa Verde contained hundreds of connected family homes, vast storage areas, and intricate communal spaces tightly packed into the rock face. At the structural and cultural heart of these communities was the kiva, a specialized circular room built directly into the ground. These kivas served as ceremonial centers. They were designed as spaces to help the community maintain spiritual harmony with the natural forces and agricultural cycles that kept their crops alive. Coordinating the construction and daily operation of these massive structures required immense civic organization. These were highly functional, early urban centers. Because they were tucked away in remote canyons, it is easy to assume these communities were entirely isolated. But that assumption about the Pueblo world is entirely false. The Pueblo people produced highly sought-after exotic goods. They crafted masterfully woven textiles, distinct pottery, and intricate jewelry out of precious stones like turquoise and exotic shells. These cities operated as central hubs in a massive trade network spanning hundreds of miles. Those routes doubled as cultural highways. As goods moved outward, so did new technologies and spiritual traditions, deeply influencing distant regions. Long before any European explorer mapped this territory, the ancient Pueblo civilization had already established a highly interconnected continental powerhouse. So why did they leave? In the late 1200s, the climate shifted. A severe, extended drought hit the region, causing critical resource shortages. With water drying up, the high population density of the cliff cities became a major liability, placing immense social and environmental pressure on the settlements. Faced with a failing environment, the Pueblo ancestors did not stubbornly wait around for their society to collapse. They applied their deep knowledge of the land to make a highly calculated choice. They packed up and moved. The abandonment of the cliff cities was actually a highly organized, society-wide migration to areas with more stable water sources. It was a masterful strategy of adaptation, and the ultimate proof that this strategy worked is that the descendants of these ancient builders are still living in the American Southwest today. These modern communities continue to preserve and practice the exact same cultural and spiritual traditions established by their ancestors millennia ago. The silent ruins of places like Mesa Verde should never be viewed as the tragic tombstones of a lost race. They are enduring monuments to one of the most resilient and adaptive civilizations in human history.